Stephanie Milky here, aka KetoMom, or often called mom, sis, Steffi, daughter, wife, aunt, and friend. Just like many of you, I carry a lot of titles. My favorite title is mom. I should probably say wife, which takes a lot of my time. But let's be honest, if you want to do something and do it well, you will make the time for it. Commitment is hard because we find ourselves overcommitted, but when you practice prioritizing, you will find out what is actually important and what you can let go. With the KetoMom podcast, you will learn together how to manage our time, commit to the most important things in life, and I will equip you with the tools you need to feel qualified each step of the way. My name is Stephanie Milky, and welcome to the KetoMom Secrets podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the KetoMom page. My name is Stephanie, and I would love to know, well, it's Saturday. If you're watching live, it's Saturday. I'm sitting up in my room. I'm sorry if it sounds tingy or loud. Football is on downstairs, so we have guests this weekend. It has been so fun, and I wanted to pop up here while they are watching football because I wanted to hop on here. I had a question that I wanted to ask you, and it was an interesting question, well, we'll talk about it. Tell me where you're tuning in from. If you are a football fan, who are you cheering for? So if you're a football fan, I think we've got Georgia fans downstairs. We've got Florida fans downstairs. From what I understand, it's college, not NFL. So college football. Are you a college football fan? I'm not a football fan, but I married into a family that is. So tell me where you're tuning in from. I am shaking up my mom fuel, and we're going to have a conversation that I often get asked, but I actually had this conversation with my kids the other day. And the conversation is around kids and health. I had somebody say, do you ever feel like you're going to give your kids a complex? How many of you have kids? How many kids do you have? If you have any kids, raise your hand below. Tell me how many kids. I have 4 girls. So I'm a mom of 4 girls, and they are 16, 14, 12, and 10. And it's interesting because I'll have some people that will say, like, do you feel like you give your girls a complex? Man, you talking about your health all the time, does it give your girls, like, do you have issues with eating? Hey, how do I talk to my kid? Or, and I think this is a really interesting and yet needed conversation to have. I think there's a lot of parents that don't know how to talk to their kids about health, but I truly feel like it's a very important conversation. Why? Because if you look at the world, you could look and say there are a lot of unhealthy people, not even by what you and I physically see, but by science and research and hey, let's lay out the facts of looking about where the trajectory of health and healthy kids are going, right? So it's interesting. Because my girls and I were talking the other day, and I have people on here that ask me, do you talk to your kids, or are your kids on the keto diet? How do I get my kids to eat healthy? And I just wanted to come on here and actually have a conversation with you. I wanted to know, first of all, if you have kids, let me know below. Second of all, and let's just say, you want to know what? Actually, I want to have this conversation. I want to have it around kids, but I actually feel like overall, there are a lot of people that don't even know how to have a conversation around health. A majority of you are going into Thanksgiving, right? You may be going to see family or friends, or it might just be Christmas. And I would say this, it's so interesting. I was talking to somebody else the other day, and he goes, I have been looking at losing a little bit of weight because when I go see my family, the first thing they're going to say is, wow, you look a little chubby. So we were talking, right? And I said, isn't it interesting how when you go back or you do holidays, the conversation usually somehow ends around health, but can we have healthy conversations with people? And why do people have to pull you down when you're working on being healthy? I'll have people that'll say, man, I don't want to go to Thanksgiving, or I don't want to have Christmas meals because I'm trying to eat healthy, and then people get frustrated with me and they get mad because I didn't eat what they made, or I have to justify why I eat healthy. Do any of you ever feel like that? So whether you're talking to a kid or a family member, here's what I say. And I told my girls this. I said, you want to know what? I don't know why this conversation of being healthy or why it makes people feel so uncomfortable has to be weird. But for instance, with kids, right? Like Brittany says, story of her life, right? I get it. I've done it. I've walked through those hard conversations. And if I'm just talking about kids to parents, here's what I'm going to say. It's a suggestion that I believe is important. I believe it's important to talk to your kids about food and about healthy habits and about helping direct them to understand like mindset and like, hey, we actually don't need to keep pop in the house. That could be a treat. Or maybe we don't keep certain things in the house, not because I think that you're fat or I'm fat, right? Like your words are really powerful. Whether you're talking to a kid or an adult or a friend or your family, like how you portray what you're physically doing and what you maybe want to help your family do is going to either be taken on and it's either going to be rejected or it's going to be thought about based on the words that come out of your mouth. So I told the girls, like I had this conversation with all 4 girls the other day because they were asking about like just being healthy and what does that look like. And I will tell you as a parent, one of the first things that you can do if you want your family to be healthy and your kids is stop calling yourself fat in front of your children or like degrading yourself or saying like, I'm on a diet, I can't have that. The words that you say, even if you don't think they're listening, they are. And they reflect upon that and they take it inward to themselves. Second of all, I think it's super important to have conversations with kids. Hey, this is what I think healthy means. Why do we have to take care of our bodies? Because you want to know something? Your health is one of the most important things. If you don't have your health, you feel like garbage. It causes you to be crabby. There might be something you physically can't do because you're not healthy. Like your health, I believe, besides your spiritual life, like spiritual life, number 1, health, number 2. If you don't have your health, guess what? It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you can't get out of bed or you can't go for a walk or you can't go somewhere or you can't do things, like it doesn't matter if you have $1 million, right? If you physically don't feel good, your health is important. And we talk to our girls. I'm like, I want you to be strong and healthy. I want you to be able to, go for those walks or play with those kids or grow up and be able to do things without having to, let's say you can't go on a ride at Disney World because you weigh too much, right? I didn't say it like that, but in my head, I'm like, there are things that adults can't do, or even kids, because their health isn't aligned with the activity that they want to do. So I told my girls this because I said, you know what? It is a harder conversation to have with your kids when you don't want to give them a complex. I said, how would you coach? Like I said, all right, you're the mom, I'm the daughter. How would you coach me to be healthy? Right? And they were like, oh, I don't know. It's one of those conversations that people shy away from because they don't want to make somebody feel bad or I don't know what to say. I mean, it's like the birds and the bees. Like, I think it's just as serious as having a conversation with your kids about, hey, you do this, choices have consequences, right? If you do this, birds and bees, choices have consequences at 16. If you decide not to take care of your health today at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, like you might not feel it right now, choices have consequences, right? Meaning the way that your body reacts, it could affect hormones. It could affect a lot of things. So I just told my girls, I said, I want you to be aware. One of the biggest words that we use is aware. Like aware of how your body functions, aware of how you feel. I want you to be aware of like, hey, I'm at a party. I can for sure enjoy myself and go have like whatever dessert they're having, but I don't need to go back and have 5 of them. Like I said, that's unnecessary, right? Some parents might go, I can't believe you told your kids not to eat 5 cookies. I sure did tell my kids not to eat 5 cookies. I said, go eat 1, right? Or there's just an awareness. I will tell you, I think the number one thing that we need to teach our kids is awareness. Awareness of other people, awareness of our own bodies, awareness of how we feel, and that will help guide you in your choices as you go throughout life. I think the conversation around health in your kids is super important. Now, if you are heading to Thanksgiving or any type of gathering, Christmas or coworkers, and you have been eating well and you have been on track, and you're like, I am going to hear it. I'm going to get an earful. People are going to make fun of me. They're going to be like, I can't believe you're doing that. Guess what? Stay strong. I'm not saying you're not going to enjoy yourself with your family, but I want you to know it's okay. Not everybody has to understand you. Not everybody is going to like you. Not everybody likes me. I'm always like, why wouldn't they like me? Guess what? It's okay. Not everybody has to agree with you. But if you have goals and you're like, nope, I'm going to eat this and not this. I'm going to do this and not this. I'm going to enjoy myself, but not overindulge. You stay true to what you want to do. Right? It's not a big deal if your sister says, just eat it. You'll never be that size. Oh, I can't believe you're doing another diet. Oh my goodness, get over yourself. You'll never look that way. That is a lie. I would say, hey, that's trash. And if somebody tells you something about your health or the way that you look, you want to know what you say to them, and you smile. You look at them in the face and you go, I reject that. I'm healthy. I'm going to be strong, and I'm taking my health serious. Like, just tell them, I reject that. I'm getting strong. I'm doing this. I might have done 18 other things in the past, but guess what? I'm going to do this one. Because I know that if I don't quit, I won't fail, right? So as you go dive into conversations over this holiday season, and I want to say, like, yeah, enjoy yourself to whatever you want to enjoy yourself, whether it's a whole day or, but I would say you don't, believe in yourself, Dorothy. I love that. I just have people say, people tell me I can't do this, or I hear it from my family. You can do it. You're strong. Like, well, there's lots of things I would say, but anyways, I really came on here because I was talking with my kids. And so I would say this. Number one, it's as important to have a health conversation with your kids, just as is important to keep as important it is to have other conversations with your kids. Number two, stay true to the goals that you have, no matter what other people say. You can do it. Believe in yourself. I'm here to help. You can ask questions below. You can tune into the page. You can reach out if you need some help with some ideas, like, hey, I'm going to this Thanksgiving. What are some better options? What should I make? There's no shortage of low-carb Thanksgiving meals if you choose to go down that route. I'm not saying you have to, but if you want a low-carb option, you can Google, you can Pinterest. I've got tons of recipes on KetoMomSecrets.com, low-carb Thanksgiving recipes. The internet has whatever you need at your fingertips. You just have to go look for it and then make it, and then stay true to what you decide you're going to do, right? And pay attention to the words that are coming out of your mouth, especially if you have kids. You don't need to be saying you're fat. You don't need to be saying you're on a diet. You don't need to be saying any of that. You can say, I am getting healthy. I want to get stronger. I want to feel better. I want to live longer. I want to. That's how you talk about it. So it gives the people around you not oh, he or she's on a diet, but I want that. What does that look like? I want to be healthy. I want my kids to go, I want to be healthy. I want to be strong. I want to be able to go walk miles. I want to be able to, whatever it is. But it comes with you leading by example, watching the words that come out of your mouth, and having like intentional conversations. So I want to say this. Thanks for tuning in. Your presence matters. I am going to drink some ketones. We have a fun week. We still have we've got company until next week, another whole week. So it has been a fun day. Our girls went to homecoming yesterday. That was so fun. They loved every minute of it. Felt like we had 3 days in one for the amount of prep time and pictures, and I was like, goodness, so fun. So thank you for tuning in. Reach out with questions. It's going to be a fun weekend. If you've never tried ketones, let me know if you want a trial pack. I mailed some out already, and they go out pretty much every single day. But if you've never tried them, they're pretty incredible. They make me happy. They keep me awake. I feel unbelievable. I call it my mom fuel. If you need a tool to help you, this is the tool. Post trial in the comments and I would love to chat. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.